Hi, welcome to the Thursday interview, and it's an election special, and it's special because we're joined by 2/5 of your new SAB team. It's Joe and Chris. We'll just start with then. It's almost a week afterwards. How are you feeling now?
Still buzzing. Still absolutely on, just like high on life. It's been such an incredible week. Yeah.
How are you, Chris?
Buzzing as well. I think if you'd asked me a couple of days ago, I'd have said tired because it's been exhausting. But I've finally, I basically spent the past 2 days just sleeping. So I'm still loving life right now. It's great. It's not really sinking in yet.
Did you celebrate then straight afterwards?
Oh yeah. We we just started celebrating just right at the union. Just went a little bit crazy, and it was the combination of how exhausted you were and then how excited you were. It was absolutely one of the best nights of my life.
It was great. Yeah, we were just saying. I don't think I've ever hugged so many people in such a short space of time in my life. And then so it was all that, just people everywhere and just emotions. And then all of a sudden we're going around and posing for photos everywhere. It was such a surreal night. It was great though.
I think then we'll go back to last Friday night at, say, 10 o'clock. It's DoRep being announced. What's going through your head? It's exactly 10:80 each. What are you thinking?
So I'm just thinking, dear God, I hope the fact that I stayed out till 6 o'clock campaigning right up to the last minute paid off. I mean, when it's tied, which I've never seen before. I mean, I think I've gone to every elections result since I've been here. I've never seen anything like it. And I was just hoping that, that I was the second choice for people who voted for Josh, who was the last one to be eliminated. And I was just like, please let them have loved me second best. And yeah, it worked out. I mean, winning by 6 votes is just unreal. I don't know if we'll ever see anything that close ever again. And of course it happened to me. I was just like I was like, this has been my relationship with the union. It's going to come down to the wire.
But you were quite a bigger gap compared to 6 votes. I mean, it couldn't be much closer, but you must have been going through a similar process when it was waiting to be announced.
Well, for me, because I'd been looking at all the polls and stuff like the Bubble TV one ended up, we had the exact same number of votes in the end. So I was very sort of unconfident before it, and I was stressing out. All my team were stressing out as well, and that was making me worse. I just spent the whole hour beforehand just with my head down, and people were trying to pick me up and get me excited, and I just couldn't. It was sort of a mix of relief that campaign week was over, and just nerves, excitement. It was crazy. It really was crazy. But I mean, obviously in the end, it was less close than I thought it was going to be, which was surprising, but. I mean, I broke down completely when I found out. It was mental, yeah.
Were there tears out of one of you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely tears. My friends have been making fun of me for it. They're like, "Do you remember coming up to me and hugging me and just crying and not being able to say anything?" And I was like, yes, I remember it all. I think my friends would have made fun of me, but my two best guy mates both cried as well. So the 3 of us were there and hugging each other with tears everywhere. It was mental.
And you mentioned campaign week. Was that for you something you found very stressful, very tiring? You're glad it's over, or was it something that was just exciting, one of the best weeks ever?
It was a combination of the two. There's definitely a certain level of excitement to it, the level of uncertainty, wondering if your tactics are going to pay off, if people really like what you have to say, or if they're just being polite. But at the same time, so exhausting, especially the hustings, going to hall after hall after hall, saying the same 2-minute speech, answering the same questions. It just drains you physically, emotionally, mentally.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. The hustings and stuff become a bit of a slog, and it can be, it is very tiring, but it was also, I think it's one of my favourite weeks of my life. I really enjoyed it, and just going out and speaking to people and engaging with the student population and everything like that. I found it so fun, and as I say, it was a relief that it was over. But now that we've had that sort of gap, I'm almost I was speaking to my campaign team, and we were like, I kind of wish we could do it all again. I want to go out, and it's just fun trying to think of ways to advertise and do all it. I loved it. I did love it. It was tiring, but I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe if you can give an insight to people, because it's very different on the other side, isn't it? When you're watching the campaign process compared to whether you're in the campaign process. How did that compare, sort of a step up for you? Because I mean, you tried last year, but this was all new for you, I think.
Yeah, it was very new for me. I mean, I was technically on Leon's campaign team the year before, but didn't get too involved in it. This was the first time I've actually been like properly involved in someone's campaign team. And yeah, I mean, it's just weird being on the other side of, it's that sort of path outside the library where everyone goes into tunnel vision and it's head down, don't speak to anybody, and then you're on the opposite side of it trying to get them to, it was weird. I felt like I was pestering people and annoying people, but I feel like people sort of understand that you have to do it. It was very different. It's very different from the other side, but it's enjoyable. Mm-hmm. It's enjoyable.
But that's all over now. Now you're looking forward to the future.
Yes.
Where are you at now? What are you doing now?
So I had my first handover meeting with Andre this morning, actually. So we're getting to work right away. A lot of people I have to meet at the university level. A lot of different committees that I'm going to be sitting on, meetings that I need to go and experience and get used to just the high intensity life of being the DoRep.
Yeah. And I've not had my handover meeting yet. I think I'm arranging it with Leon later on in the week. But I've been going to committee meetings and stuff like that for the SSC groups, and I've already had about 5 event proposals for next year already. So I'm going to have to sort of sit down with Leon and work out the logistics of actually planning, like reserving those because people already want to reserve spots now. So it's already getting in, like we're getting into it. Mm-hmm. It's good because it gives us time to properly get used to it.
Because I mean, you in particular, Chris, will have a big summer ahead. I mean, do you have any idea of what your Freshers Week's going to look like?
I've got some idea, but it's hard to say because we don't know what the buildings are going to look like at all. I'm basically just going for variety, Don't want to give anything away, but contacted I was speaking again to the hot tub time machine guys yesterday, and in the hope of bringing them. So I'm hopefully going to be able to bring him down for freshers. But yeah, I just want to try and get as much variety as possible. I'm gonna look at the Edinburgh Fringe programme as early as I can and see what acts are coming, because I think that's a great way to get some brilliant international acts into Scotland.
And you then, what would you say? Do you have a priority of something you want to push forward straight away, or is it just?
I want to take some big steps forward in terms of mental health support. I think that's one of the things I'm going to prioritize this year. I really am quite keen on the well-being advisor policy that I had in my manifesto. I've already started talking to Andre about ways we can begin to implement that. I'm going to sit down with Chris Lusk, Lorna Mill, and all the appropriate people, and we'll start to get those things underway. And
then finally, how are you feeling about next year? Is it nerves? Is it excitement? Is it somewhere in between?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in between. I mean, definitely excited, but nervous. I got big shoes to fill. Andre was an incredible DoRep. Teddy was a great DoRep before him. I want to do, a great job for the students. So excited, but definitely nervous, and I'm ready to get to work and work hard.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I'm excited, but I think again a bit of nerves as well, because DoES is perhaps the most quantifiable in terms of how well you've done, because if you're not making money, you're not doing well. So that aspect of it, it's going to be very obvious if I've done a good or bad job. So I'm nervous about that aspect, but I'm excited. I can't wait.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
From all of us here, have a great break.